Hey guys, it's Guy here. I've been sick for the past 4 days. I became sick on Christmas Eve, and I'm still currently sick to this day. But due to the sickness, I know I said I would be posting more often, but obviously I had to stop. I do have a couple scripts, and I had some recordings already saved to continue uploading. But I just wanted to make this quick video with this idea that I'll go into briefly for now till I could actually put my mind to it. But basically, I'm going to be talking about the idea of what is going to happen after the Ragnarok tournament is over, which is when all 13 fights, or if you think it's going to be 14, whatever, whenever those fights are over, what will happen at the end. And there's a lot of speculation it'll be total war between the humans and the gods. But this idea I'm going to be going over, if you probably could tell from the thumbnail and the title, I'm going to be going over this specific speculation of the Norse versus Greeks total war. And it does actually make a decent amount of sense when you look at it, because obviously, or what most people will agree with, that in Record of Ragnarok or Shemetu no Valkyrie, the Greeks are basically seen as the seat of power. They have the god, father of the cosmos, Zeus, followed by his two brothers being Poseidon and Hades, followed by a bunch of other Greek gods from the pantheon, equaling a total of 12. And the Norse pantheon, they've been seen as sketchy throughout the anime and manga, either if it's Loki or Thor or Odin's interactions and depictions throughout the manga. They'll be basically viewed as an enemy trying to overthrow the Greeks. And I know you're thinking, wait, why would they want to overthrow the Greeks? Well, because they're going to have a perfect opportunity to do so if the Ragnarok keeps going as it's going. So far, Zeus is damaged still. I don't think he's at peak condition as he once was at the beginning of the show or manga. But along with his brothers, Poseidon, which is one of the strongest Greek gods, are now dead. Hercules, which is probably one of the strongest Greek gods since he was on the roster, is now also dead. And now we have Hades and Apollo, who are still set up to fight. And I don't think I've made a video on it, but if you've spoken to me before, I'm thinking that at least one more Greek god is going to die, and I have my money on Apollo to perishing in this Ragnarok. So basically, round 7, obviously Hades is fighting right now, which is a good and a bad thing, because one, it's just another strong Greek god fighting, but it's also a bad thing because there's also a chance that another strong Greek god, even if he doesn't die, he might be weakened or damaged to the point that he might be handicapped for any further battle for the next couple of years or events. And looking at the Norse side, Thor is the one that's walked out of a fight with the least amount of damage, besides maybe Zeus if you want to go off of gaping wounds. Even then, it's arguable. And Thor is one of the Norse's strongest combatants and one of the strongest gods in general. And he came out basically unscathed from his fight, still in fighting condition. We have Loki, who still hasn't fought as well, and then we have Odin, the Norse supreme god, who has also not fought yet. And if you're like most people in this community, you think Odin's going to be fighting at the very end, which I do agree so as well. So that could potentially mean that the Norse, at least how I view it, I don't think the Norse is going to lose any gods in this Ragnarok. While I view that at least one more Greek god will die, and that will most likely upset the balance of power between the Norse and the Greeks. And at least how I view it, more Norse gods will be introduced and will be siding with Odin, and it'll be stronger gods. Obviously, I think most people think that Loki is the weakest Norse god. So far, I believe that. A lot of my friends believe it. And that there will be an overthrowment attempt where the Norse will try to overthrow the weakened Greek pantheon after losing Hercules, Poseidon, and either Hades or Apollo. I'm leaning towards Apollo. And with a weakened Zeus and a weakened Hades, most likely. Well, he's already weakened in the fight. Spoilers, but yeah, he's already been weakened from taking the full impact of his own strike in this fight with Quincy Yang, or in round 7. But basically, I think when it comes down to this theory for how it's gonna end, I don't think the North will actually be successful with this, because the whole point of this, or like the whole reason that this theory is popular, is because Odin said that he's been planning for this, and if he tends to go last, and so does the rest of the Norse gods, so like Loki, if they plan to go last, then it would make sense. But anyways, that's it. Kai out.